right now. Lactate ice cream is the creamy, real ice cream you love that will never mess with your stomach. Lactate ice cream.
The Emmy-nominated Late Show with Stephen Colbert, weeknights on CBS.
My family and I find ourselves in an interesting situation. The walls are closing in on all sides, and there's a war coming.
Yo! The Amazing Race, new season, September 27th on CBS.
Let's get outside and play this week. We've got sunshine taking over, temps rising up a bit. I've got your full forecast on the way. Live from downtown Marquette, it's your 19 News.
UP state lawmakers. Tonight, what State Rep Greg Markkanen is focusing on in the remainder of 2023. Plus, the Norway Vulcan School District is hiring a new staff member, one the district hasn't had in more than 10 years. And a new report shows the inflation rate continues to rise. Your 19 News starts right now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
I still haven't turned the heat on in my house just yet, but how chilly are we going to get tonight?
Sarah, I think you'll be okay, but if you are in the interior, yeah, you might want to turn that heat on, get it cranking, because we could see temperatures down in the 30s this evening. We'll stay a little bit cool into our morning, where we could see widespread frost as well as possible freeze, and then fog in the morning as well. Sunshine into Friday, when showers are likely to return starting in the west. Today, though, we saw a high of about 55 degrees, and then I've got your overnight lows as well as tomorrow's forecast after the break.
Thank you very much, Ariane. In Lansing, as state lawmakers are now back at work, the UP's 110th State House District representative says his office is prioritizing constituent services to make sure the people in his district have what they need. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has more.
Representative Markkanen says that his summer was spent taking trips around the district, meeting with constituents and spending time in the community.
You know, it is a whirlwind coming back and getting readjusted and putting a suit on.
To finish up 2023, Representative Markkanen says his office is putting in efforts to focus on helping the people of the 110th.
You know, we provide a wide range of constituent services.
From help with the state treasury, assisting with unemployment claims, or Veterans Affairs. Representative Markkanen says he's happy his office can be there to answer questions and assist anyone in the district.
That's the furthest away from Lansing, and you know, sometimes people don't know who to call.
He says his office is staffed 5 days a week to take calls and answer questions from residents.
During the pandemic, at one point we were answering the phone 7 days a week because there was just such a need, and we are happy to be there.
This week, Representative Markkanen says the House Education Committee met to listen to students, teachers, and parents affected by gun violence in schools.
As a former school teacher, you know, school safety is very critical, and you know, how we deliver that and how we keep our communities and our schools safe is very important.
Representative Markkanen says that moving forward, he'd like to take the time to make sure UP schools and other rural areas don't get left behind as they work on mental health resources and making sure students feel safe and comfortable in the classroom. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
In Washington, Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy is giving the House the green light to move forward with an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Republicans say they found evidence of wrongdoing, while Democrats say President Biden has done nothing wrong. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp spoke with our members about this.
On Tuesday, Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy gave the go-ahead for congressional Republicans to open an impeachment inquiry into President Biden. McCarthy says the House has uncovered a series of corruptions against the president. But the New York Times is reporting Republicans have provided no evidence that the president was involved in any financial wrongdoing or corruption. On the Hill, there's a mixed reaction to the impeachment inquiry.
I think the impeachment inquiry is absurd. The American people want us to do something that will make their lives better, not go off on these chases and witch hunts.
So we'll see how that progresses. I know the House has been engaged in that inquiry for a couple of years now. They haven't found any evidence, it appears. But I think really What the focus should be is making sure that we keep the government open.
We got our hands full here trying to get through the appropriations process and not have an omnibus. And I don't have any advice to give to the House. They've got a totally different set of challenges than we do. And so I think the best advice for the Senate is to do our job, and we'll see how this plays out later.
So it's safe to say you do support the inquiry.
The inquiry, yeah, I mean, we want to do that, and I think it's necessary now because of everything that's surfaced. But the American people expect us to do the right thing for the right reasons. It should never be a political issue where you try to taint a political candidate and try to make sure they can't run for office and use and weaponize these different things. That's not the reason that was there. But we don't want to compromise the safety and security of the United States by somebody doing something that absolutely brings that into place.
In Washington, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
The House has voted to impeach 3 presidents in the past: Andrew Johnson, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump. Trump was impeached twice. New tonight, Norway Vulcan School District is bringing a new school nurse on staff for the first time in over a decade. At tonight's school board meeting, board members unanimously approved the hiring of the new registered nurse who has 12 years of experience in nursing. The majority of her experience includes involvement in the public health field. She's previously served with the health department and the Marshfield Medical Center Dickinson.
There's been a long gap, so it'll be kind of building up a program, figuring out what students need. So I think that that's also kind of the exciting challenge of getting a program up and running, is where do we start and where can we go?
She says she's looking forward to working with students daily and bringing more public health education and planning to the school's programming. Starting next Monday, eligible veterans can get free flu shots at local VA clinics, in-network pharmacies, and urgent care locations. The Oscar G. Johnson VA Medical Center is hosting drive-through and walk-in clinics at the center in Iron Mountain and 8 other community clinics across the UP. No appointments necessary. In Iron Mountain, the drive-through clinic will be the week of September 25th, and the walk-in clinic is planned for the week of October 2nd. We have more information on our website about the dates and times of the other 8 clinic locations around the UP. Meanwhile, the VA Medical Center in Iron Mountain was honored with a big award today in Washington, D.C. The Oscar G. Johnson VA Medical Center was presented the Best Overall Experience Award for the entire Veteran Health Administration population out of 170 hospitals nationwide. This marks the 5th year in a row that the medical center has been given this prestigious title. The VA Hospital's director, Dr. John P. Shealy, chose a frontline staff member to accept this year's award in our nation's capital. That award was accepted by Sherry Tyner on behalf of the center. Developing now, the North American International Auto Show got underway today in Detroit, but overshadowing this year's show is a possible strike by the United Auto Workers Union. The current contract with Detroit's 3 automakers expires late tomorrow night. Chris Van Cleve reports from Detroit.
From the new GMC Acadia to Ford's new F-150, Detroit's big 3 automakers showed off their newest models as the annual North American International Auto Show gets underway. But looming over the event is a possible strike by the United Auto Workers, threatening to bring production to a halt. The union's contract with Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis expires late Thursday, something car makers didn't want to talk about.
How concerned are you that a strike could slam the brakes on that progress?
Well, we're not really going to talk about the strike today. Obviously, we've got a great team working to try and get an amicable solution.
Ford CEO said Tuesday night the company made its most generous offer to the UAW in 80 years, including pay increases, but he ruled out a 32-hour work week.
Still optimistic that we'll get a deal, but there is a limit.
The union went into negotiations also seeking a 40% raise and reversing concessions made during the Great Recession. The head of the UAW says the companies need to get serious.
They spent more money enriching shareholders in a year than they spent on us in the entirety of the last contract cycle.
The United Auto Workers Union is leaning towards a targeted strike strategy where they would hit select plants that make key components to some of the automakers' most profitable vehicles.
There'll be factories like a pickup truck plant, or several of them, that are hugely profitable and start to hit the bottom line for the companies.
The negotiations come as the automakers posted a combined $164 billion in profits over the past decade.
At that auto show, the atmosphere was more rock concert-like than car show as Ford unveiled the latest version of the F-150 pickup truck last night at an outdoor event near the auto show. The F-150 will get a new front grille, dark-colored headlamps, and some new vents, as well as added features like the Pro Access tailgate, which can swing open like a door for unloading and loading, even while towing a trailer. This is the second update on the F-150 without changing the truck's underpinnings, which is a trend in the industry to conserve capital so companies have money to develop and build electric vehicles. The updated F-150 goes on sale in the U.S. sometime next year at a starting price of $35,570. That's about $1,700 more than the current base model. Meanwhile, new government data shows the inflation rate continues to climb. Haley Ott takes us inside the numbers.
Gas prices surged in August and continue to climb upward. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded is up 14 cents since last year.
Originally, I was going to put 20 in, and then I saw that, and then I was like, yeah, I'm only going to put 10 in.
Gas and oil prices were a big reason why overall inflation rose 3.7% in August, a jump from July and June. However, when you strip away energy costs, the latest report shows prices for many items we buy are easing, what's measured as core inflation.
The core rate has come down, and we saw it go down from 4.7% annually to 4.3% annually. So that's been a good improvement.
One place that Americans are also seeing improvement is at the grocery store.
Prices are rising at just 3%, and some items are actually dropping. Milk is down 3.5% from a year ago, bacon has dropped more than 6%, and eggs have plummeted 18%. Since March of last year, the Federal Reserve's been raising interest rates to bring inflation down. The board meets again next week and is expected to hit the pause button.
It is unlikely that the Fed's going to raise interest rates next week, the reason being that they are seeing inflation come down at that core level, and they probably can wait until the following meeting to determine whether or not to raise rates again.
Inflation is expected to drop further in the coming months. The Fed's goal is for it to return to just 2%.
The Federal Reserve's benchmark rate is now at a 22-year high. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break, plus an earlier transition to fall colors. The National Weather Service explains why this year's color season may be shorter than usual, too. And a new clinic in Maryland is providing mental health services like an urgent care clinic. A closer look at the walk-in center after this break.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
Shop hundreds of lazy boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99 plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
Fall for cash and free play wins with the $32,000 autumn giveaway at Ojibwa Casinos. You've got the chance to pick your prize from the apple tree every Friday and Saturday from noon to 8 p.m. Hear your name and you'll reach for an apple, revealing between $150 free play and $1,000 cash. Now that's a juicy prize. $32,000 is ripe for the picking. Come claim your share with the autumn giveaway, only at Ojibwa Casinos, Baraga, and Marquette.
With months of job losses, with the highest percentage of homes in foreclosure since the Depression, with family incomes down and the cost of gas, groceries, and healthcare rising, America's credit card debt is now at an all-time high.
Reports indicate that a typical consumer has access to a total of approximately $19,000 in credit card debt. And during this economic crisis, many consumers are now using 80% or more of their credit card limit. Using this example, you can see why consumers are getting into trouble. Consumers that owe $15,000 on their credit cards with today's average interest rate simply cannot get ahead.
Make the call now. Debt management representatives are standing by to take your call and help you get your life back on track. Time is not on your side, so don't wait. This is the time to build a plan to settle your debt and work towards financial freedom. This could be the most important call you will ever make, so make the call now.
Home for CBS is WZMQ 19.
Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
We're already seeing some 40-degree temperatures out here, Ironwood and Houghton, heading down possibly into those 30s. We'll take a closer look in just a moment. Clear conditions for the most part. We could expect some chances of late fog, as well as that frost starting overnight in the early hours of our Thursday, where we are expecting a lot of sunshine for the day. Those temperatures warming up 65 to about 75 degrees. Get outside and play because, friends, that rain is probably going to return later on. Frost advisory, though, for these counties continuing until 8 a.m. in the morning. Basically, it starts, though, at 2 a.m. when we'll see those temperatures drop down into the 30s. Taking a look at the precipitation that we've seen over the past couple of hours, we're staying fairly dry at the moment. We could see a few sprinkles in our day tomorrow. I'll show you where in just a moment here, but current conditions, we're not seeing any rain showers. So check it out here Wednesday evening into our Thursday morning. Again, here's maybe some sprinkles down in the Garden Peninsula, and then we'll see some of those moving eastward. But other than that, it's going to be sunny, gorgeous. Take advantage because Friday morning, friends, that rain is starting to push on in midday. We'll see it here in the central portions of the UP before it moves eastward, and then chances of thunderstorms, heavy rain maybe in the early evening hours as we get into our later Friday night. So let's take a look at what we've got for Iron River, as we are expecting a frost advisory there till 7 a.m. Central Time. So most of those temperatures are going to be in that 30-degree range here between 4 and 7 before we warm up a little bit, heading towards 64 there later on in the day with a lot of sunshine. The lows tonight, like I mentioned, we could be in that 30-degree range. Check it out, Ironwood. If you haven't covered up those outdoor plants, now is the time. Pedal it out, get outside, enjoy all this sunshine, because you know what's coming in just a few months. But we'll see 70 degrees on our Thursday. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous as we take a look here at the map, take a look at what you could be seeing. We'll see about 69 degrees is the high here in Marquette. Our 7-day outlook, like I said, those showers probably returning on Friday in the afternoon, which will likely happen again on Saturday for the Margie Ride and other homecoming events this coming weekend before we dry up. Leaves already changing color. Thank you, Bill Jandro, for sharing these photos at Teal Lake in Ishpeming. I've been seeing a few specks here and there, Sarah. I know you are also getting into the fall season.
That is for sure. Ariane, thank you very much. Meanwhile, we all know the month began with very hot temperatures, and now it has cooled down a little bit. Carl Bonack says at this point in September, the hottest days are behind us, but that hasn't always been the case.
That was quite a heat wave we had around Labor Day. The National Weather Service office had 2 consecutive 90-degree days, with a September record 95 a week ago Monday, Labor Day. In recent times, hot temperatures in September of 90 or above have been confined to the first 10 days or so of the month. For instance, the National Weather Service's latest 90-degree high was September 11th, 1998. On the other hand, Houghton's latest 90 was on the 15th in 1939, while it hit 90 in Munising on the 18th in 1955. Residents in Iron Mountain perspired under a 90-degree temperature as late as the 22nd in 1908, and in Marquette, the latest 90 is over a week later on the last day of the month, September 30th. Remember, the greatest U.S. summer heat waves occurred during the 1930s. In the UP, the greatest latest September heat waves were also in the 1930s. Marquette and Munising both had 3 consecutive days with highs in the 90s, September 10th through 12th, 1931, while Iron Mountain and Ironwood racked up 4 straight days in the 90s. Here's more proof that it was hotter in days gone by. Records at the National Weather Service only go back to 1961. There, only 6 calendar days in the month have record highs in the 90s. Houghton, where records go back to the turn of the 20th century, has 10 calendar days. Munising, 16 days. Iron Mountain, 18 days. And Marquette, where records go back to the Civil War, has 24 calendar days in September with highs in the 90s. While 90s are not anticipated, it does look like above average temperatures will take hold again in the longer term. At the same time, an extended dry spell is expected to last late into the month.
And as our temperatures gradually keep dropping over the next few weeks, it's the season for fall colors. The colors is one of the biggest draws for tourists coming to visit in the fall, and it's a big draw for people who live up here too. In the past, the UP has been rated the top destination for fall color viewing. The National Weather Service says due to Canadian wildfire smoke over the summer, this year's viewing season could be shortened.
That is based on how hot it got over the past summer. That might stress the trees out, but if it is a little bit more of a cooler summer, it might not be as stressful. If they're dry and hot, they're going to be stressed out and they're probably going to drop their leaves faster.
The National Weather Service notes that even though warm weather in the summer can speed up the process, warm temperature spikes in the fall could slow down the process. As the need for mental health care has surged, a specialized walk-in clinic in Maryland is serving as a model for other communities nationwide. It operates like an urgent care, but for all mental health needs for all ages. Natalie Brand shows us how the model is helping thousands of patients find care exactly when they need it.
Where someone can just walk in.
Pam Yerby-Hammock describes her struggle with mental health as sudden and traumatic.
I spent all of this time in a place of fear and panic, confusion, darkness.
She didn't know where to turn until her daughter learned of this psychiatric urgent care in Baltimore County, Maryland, a walk-in clinic with no appointment necessary.
I needed help then and there.
What we're seeing is a tremendous rise in need for mental health services, people wanting to access care, but really getting stuck at the point where they don't know how to access care.
Dr. Hirsch Trivedi says Shepherd Pratt's urgent care for mental health opened in 2011 in response to long ER wait times. He says this year the clinic is on track to have an estimated 10,000 evaluations, a substantial rise from last year.
What we find is that the best time to intervene or the best time to help people is specifically when they're in crisis, when they want that help.
The clinic accepts insurance and is open to all ages and all needs, from a hospital stay to a therapist referral.
Do you think this is a model of care that should expand and be available to more people?
Oh, absolutely.
Yerby-Hammock says she was diagnosed with depression and anxiety and connected with resources that have changed her life.
Those things that I lost, they came back.
That includes her passion for preaching. She's even founded a mental health ministry to encourage others to get care as soon as they need it.
Shepherd Pratt is now working with other healthcare providers to help them open walk-in mental health clinics in different communities nationwide to help increase access. Well, it's made its rounds on social media, the Wisconsin bar that offered to cover the tab if the Jets lost. Some of the highest bills paid Monday after the Jets ended up winning in overtime. That story is after this break.
The Emmy-nominated Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Do you know that feeling when you're laughing and crying at the same time?
Weeknights on CBS.
Get 11% off everything at Menards. Update your home with bright, energy-efficient LED recessed lighting from Juno. Its ultra-thin design fits flush against the surface, making it quick and easy to install. Get this 6-inch LED flat wafer downlight for $17.97 after rebate. Keep your devices powered with Energizer Max batteries. They deliver consistent performance and have lasting power. A 16-pack of AA and AAA batteries are $8.99 after 11% off. Right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Everyone loves the Great Lakes. They make you feel like dancing. A great place to celebrate is at Marquette's Maritime Museum, but your help is needed. The museum's roof needs to be replaced to preserve history for future generations. So kick up your heels and help by donating today. Simply go to WZMQ19.com and hit the Raise the Roof link. A public service message from the New Attitudes Dance Studios, the Marquette Maritime Museum, and WZMQ 19. WZMQ 19 News, live and local news, first warning weather, exclusive interviews. Named Best Newscast by the Michigan Association of Broadcasters. Make the switch to WZMQ 19 News.
I'm Rachel Knapp. Watch my reports live from Washington, only on 19 News.
You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Sarah Blakely.
From Milwaukee's east side to every corner of the world, a bar offering to pay for everyone's drinks if the Jets and Aaron Rodgers lost got all kinds of attention. And in the end, the Jets prevailed and everyone had to pay up. A.J. Bayatpour is at Jack's American Pub with new details on just how high some of those tabs got.
Typically, if someone is reaching out to Jack's American Pub early on a weekday, it's to place a to-go order.
I have been back and forth conversing with the person who worked this morning.
That's not the case here Tuesday.
And she said she's been getting a lot of calls with, like, the Washington Post was one of them. I mean, even People Magazine, they wanted to have, like, a conversation with somebody.
That's because the place was packed with Packers fans hoping the Jets would lose and they'd drink for free.
But our sales on a Monday night, I would compare them to like a New Year's Eve for us. So it was really good, especially for a Monday.
For Jack's, it became a holiday all right. Once the Jets won in overtime, fans thinking an Aaron Rodgers injury would pave the way to free booze were suddenly stuck with the bill.
The average tab was about $50 to $60, but then there was some outliers that there was like a $160 tab, $130 tab here and there.
Those who frequent this place,
Brewer Show mostly, football games, all the above, basketball,
say they expected nothing less.
Doesn't surprise me too much, honestly, because it's Wisconsin. We know how to have a good time.
As for the future of this promotion, the owners are currently on a retreat in the Virgin Islands. Manager Olivia Fallon says it might end up being a game-time decision.
I don't really know what the decision is yet with the owners and how they want to go about it moving forward. I know that I could see them having such a great turnout yesterday that they would want there to be more promotions with this still continuing, just with maybe limitations.
Now, as for how the bar made sure people paid their tab, the rule was to get the offer, everyone had to keep a card on file at the bar. One note about that guy with the $160 tab, Fallon says he was only drinking beer. She estimates that amounted to about a half a keg. That was oh so close to being free, but nope, he had to pay for it. We are warming up just a little bit tomorrow, but we're also expecting some showers, some sprinkles in the next few days. Ariane has the outlook on the way. And the unique hybrid vehicle that's showcased at the Detroit Auto Show this week, and our final story after this.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
Going about your business isn't easy these days. Consumer values and tastes are changing. We're here with ideas and information to help your business grow.
I need an advertising partner that meets my needs and is invested in my success. I have that partner with TV19.
Let us create the right advertising campaign that delivers for your business. Call us now at 906-362-1919. WZMQ works for you.
We've got Chicago's finest. Come on out!
here, Chance the Rapper!
I feel like I've known you my whole life.
Plus, a hero from my hometown.
I'm a kid that wanted to make sure that everybody had a good meal.
And I tried a new instrument. Wish me luck, y'all.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, tomorrow at 5 on WZMQ TV CBS, followed by 19 News at 6.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion. Learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
We've got fairly clear conditions in the east out there and a little bit of cloud coverage currently in the central and western portions. Those temperatures going to be dropping down into the 30s and 40s tonight. Tomorrow, though, we'll start with a chilly morning and that sunshine sticking around, warming us up in the afternoon. Those temperatures about 60 to 75, so make sure you bundle up your student or yourself if you're going somewhere like the Taste of the Island cooking show in Harris at the Island Resort and Casino. We'll expect sunnier skies, that high around 68 degrees later on in the day after the cooking show is over. But you can also watch it on our app. I believe we are live streaming it. Thursday will stay fairly dry in Escanaba. Friday, those showers could return most likely in the evening and then possibly on Saturday and Sunday before we dry out next week. Temperatures in that 60-degree range.
Finally tonight, one of the more unique vehicles featured at the Detroit Auto Show this week has people eyeing the skies. Electric vehicle takeoff and landing is one of the latest techs on display. Israel's air quadcopter, the One, is a sample of what's on display. It's designed with less than a dozen moving parts and to fly as simply as possible. Attendees were given a chance to try the technology through a virtual reality simulator, and there's already a wait list of people who are ready to buy one once it is ready to launch.
Just one?
Yep, there's just one.
Okay.
There's only one being made, so you gotta get in line.
Would you get in that thing?
I don't know. People are already bad drivers. I don't want to think about what it would be like to have a bunch of those, like the Jetsons. You know?
And some people cannot walk and chew gum at the same time. You know, that happens to us. I would try it.
I don't know if I would.
Around a whole bunch of pillows, I think.
Yeah, get 2 feet off the ground and that's enough for me. That's all the time we have for tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
The Emmy-nominated Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
You know that feeling when you're laughing and crying at the same time?
Weeknights on CBS.
Escanaba and Delta County, home to beautiful beaches, Lake Michigan, lighthouses, pretty parks, and great people. It's why so many are proud to say, this is home. I'm Lily Simmons. I'll show you what's happening here every day. In your school